Toy Story 2 for the PS1 and the N64, the most underrated 3D platformer of all time, and yes, even more underrated than Over the Hedge on the GameCube, in case you were wondering. Now everyone, let's look back to the days of high-quality movie license games and join in with the fun. Let's play some Toy Story. Let's play some Toy Story. Yo, press X already, come on. The first world is Andy's house from Kingdom Hearts 3 and also the Toy Story movies. I know my way around this house better than my own house. However, at my house, we don't just leave the stove on, boiling and shooting water, and then in the garage, the power drills and saws just flailing everywhere rapidly. If you ask me, Child Protective Services should probably check on Andy's mom at some point. While you're in the garage though, I gotta show you guys. I'm not a speedrunner, but I've been doing this trick to skip the running race and against the RC car since I was like 5, so I should at least get a participation trophy or something. Wait, hang on. So in this game we're trying to get like Pizza Planet tokens in order to save Woody. Which who knows why arcade tokens are going to help us when we don't even go to Pizza Planet in this game, but beside that point. We need these things to save our friend and the whole gang of Mr. Potato Head, Slinky, Rex, Bo Peep, Pam, RC, all of them. They're just going to go out at each world to help me. Okay? Guys, though, we're at a hunter stealing eggs then rewarding Spyro with them kind of point in this universe. Don't you guys all want Woody saved? All these missions, they're like, the characters are hiding these tokens from me. Like, why are you hiding them from me? Bo Peep wants me to find her sheep first. Well, honey, aren't you the shepherd here with the big hook meant for sheep herding? Slinky's goals are always these lazy things that he could easily do himself, like go pick up wrenches. Why are you giving me a time limit for these things? Ham wants 50 coins per world. Greedy pork chop. Sarge lost all his troops and won't even bother to go look for them himself. You're a disgrace to America. Mr. Potato Head has very useful tools for you to use, but the catch is you have to go find his body parts while he stands there doing absolutely nothing, and I don't even know how he stands there at some point because he lost his foot. I feel like the only one that he actually wants to help find Woody is Rex, with his fun tips that you just click right through because he's just like a tutorial guy. Anyways, in reality, it's only Buzz and Rex on this mission. Anyways, the second world is Andy's neighborhood, complete with killer lawnmowers, driving around in circles unattended. Okay, Andy and his sister we're at this point where they're just lucky to be alive, living in this house in town. What more could you even see from this? This world is sick, though. I love this part with the little ducky because it makes me feel smart. However, my fear of heights did come from climbing up 3/4 of this tree and then falling all the way back down. So next we venture to the construction site, where here we learn how to mix paint, and that is the best part. Next is alleys and gullies, and yeah, honestly, this part of the game is not the most exciting when you're about to go to the toy store next. Speaking of the toy store, though, it's so hype. I'm just a little worried for the children walking in the front door to go get a bouncy ball out of this little machine and then wiping out into toxic waste, but that's a separate issue. The important thing is I now have rocket shoes. You can skateboard and bounce on this trampoline, which is freaking awesome. The next world we got is the space department of the same toy store. Here is where the game gets ultra realistic. This claw machine. Yeah. This claw machine. These things are always just rigged, okay? Come on. You also just run through a firing squad of Buzz toys, which is the only time the shield power-up is actually useful, so thanks, Potato Head. You actually helped this time. Elevator hop is next. Which this world, I gotta say, it has the biggest test of your 3D platformer skills in any game that I know of. It's called getting this freaking rat on the top of the ceiling. It is so hard, okay? It's so hard. The best part of this world, though, is once you get to the top of the elevator, you can fall all the way back down and then go up through this vent. I just imagine in real life that Buzz would reach the top and have throw up all over the inside of his helmet, but this is a kid's game, so I can respect the developer's decision to not include that feature. But the best world in the game goes to Al's penthouse. Now you're asking why? Now this soundtrack alone is why I always play the game at least this far in. In this world you have another very confusing hazard though. So, here's the situation. You have to get to this shelf in Elle's bathroom. Oh, so let's just turn the water on and float on stuff. Yeah, to the ceiling. That's fine. So how does this work from a structural standpoint? Those poor people on the floors below, and honestly, I mean, he's the villain, but poor Al from Al's Toy Barn. Mold and mildew is about to be the true villain here. But anyways, you go back through this clearly open vent and see. Let's just see how damaged the other rooms are. Oh, but wait, none of the water made it out of here. So somehow, Al is a sorcerer with water force fields protecting his prized possessions. There's no other explanation. I'm sorry, but this guy's also a freaking nerd with a train for a bed. Thought I'd mention that too. The rest of this place is actually pretty sick though, even like the diorama thing. You actually end up feeling bad for this guy that his collection is incomplete without Woody. So the rest of this game is all like jumping on suitcases and airports and that kind of stuff, and I can take it or leave it. However though, you may have realized I've neglected to mention the bosses in this game. That's because it's time for the super mega awesome, super fun, happy boss ranking. Woohoo! In review, Toy Story 2 for the PS1 is elite. It has one of the best video game soundtracks of all time, it's one of the best movie licensed games ever made, and surprisingly, it's up there with those N64 PS1 era Crash, Spyro, Mario, Banjo, class of 3D platformers, even though at the end of the day, it's just a movie licensed Toy Story game. Enough praising, down to business though. Where does Toy Story 2 go on the wall?